Hello,
Oh,
fine colored
fine.
friends. Oh my, that's an echo from Alexi. I love you. Um,
Oh,
Welcome to Misadventures. We play one-shot and short-form style tabletop games of all types. If you'd like to check out our other shenanigans, head over to Tales of Initiative's YouTube page and take a look at the misadventures we've uploaded there. We're so happy to see you again this week. It's going to be a kind of short episode, but it's going to be fun nonetheless. And we are sponsored by a very special sponsor today. Ruben, would you like to inform our massive audience?
Of course. So, Evil Hat Productions is sponsoring our game today, Gods and Monsters, which is made by them, and they're giving us a $25 gift card to their online store. We will be giving a keyword out today, so please put in the code whenever we give it. And if you're here by the end of the session, you'll be able to enter it in. And next week, you'll be able to enter it in again for a double shot. So, yeah, Evil Head Productions, check them out.
They make things like Thirsty Sword Lesbians, Bait Core, um, Gods and Monsters, which, as a side note, Gods and Monsters currently on their store is a pay what you want PDF. So if you would like your own copy of Gods and Monsters, it is on their store. And it is like you can pay however much you kind of feel like you should. I paid $4. That was the suggested amount. And then you should see a link to their store probably in the next 10 seconds or so. Yeah, this will be part 1 of our 6-part Gods and Monsters adventure. We are happy to be playing the Eternal Haunted Night, like little based story that's in the back of the book. It is, of course, flavored a little interestingly because I cannot get my hands on anything and then not make it mine. Just like a dog, gotta mark my territory. And then, so this system is run on Fate Core, which means you have Fate dice. Oh, thank you. We have Fate dice. We have different kind of like aspects that you get to invoke with your Fate dice. You get your skills are kind of like pitted against each other. It's going to be really cool. It's really hard to explain, so I definitely hope we do it some justice and make it a little easier for other people to figure it out too. Yeah, general disclaimer, we're all far from perfect. We may not make decisions that you might make at your home table. That's okay. We're all different. Also, I mean, a lot of us are new to the system, so we're gonna make whatever call seems right for our story, and I think that's what most people should be doing. Alrighty. If you guys would like to introduce yourselves and who you are playing today, Ruben, go.
Hello. I am playing Metztili. It's an interesting way to pronounce it, I suppose. But I am playing a moon god, and just kind of very subtle, very put together, until, the phases come into play.
I love it. Oh, Lexi.
Hi. I am playing Strix, the goddess of balance, or judgment and darkness. She is very stern, and very orderly. She likes to keep things to the point. But yeah, she was once immortal, so yeah.
Ooh, spicy. And Danny.
Hello, I'm Danny. I will be playing Nuka. They are the goddess of the void and the beginning and end of everything. She is subtle and dark and calm, unless needed to be all-encompassing.
She's a great one, badass. Sean will be joining us next week, but he will be playing Maravir, a god of the ocean. Very exciting. And if you turn your attention over there, you will see a intention tracker. This is how we're going to see whether our gods start to become monsters. Because if they become monsters, then who are they going to save? More power benefits them, more power also could corrupt them. So keep an eye over there as we move our intention markers to see where we end up. It smells a little terrifying, but it's fine. I thought it was important for you guys to see though, so we'll do it there. Danny, will you remind me what your aspects, your approaches?
My approaches are subtle +3, mighty, and wise.
Subtle, mighty, and wise. Oh wait, no, that's Strix. Strix, what are yours? Oh.
Wise is +3, clever, and then bold.
Wise, clever, and bold. Purely kind of like a mental person. And then Ruben, will you remind me what Mesley's?
Yes, I am sitting at subtle, clever, and wise.
Okay. I will change that in a minute. And we will roll the intro. Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome back. So, in the beginning, there was nothing. There was only the void. And, well, that was kind of lonely. So the void whispered into space and created the stars. The stars got lonely, so they got names. And so the void just like created Earth. Created Gotet Ul, the Earth. Created the oceans and like space, wind, and there was a war between the sun and the moon over who had more control, who had more power, because the sun is arrogant. The sun is just too bright and too sure of himself, whereas the moon was a little more subtle, a little more cool and calm, but definitely was trying to balance his brother. Their war bred Chaos, who walked around the earth just causing problems. He actually bred humanity because of the duality in nature of chaos. From that came a beautiful little child who was human, but also a god. Her name was Rose. Later on, she discovered that she was destined to be more than that. It it was a little terrifying because she was supposed to be the end of everything. But it turned out that it was her end to end this war, this conflict, and restore balance. She cast the sun to one part of the sky and the moon to the other. She created the seasons to balance on the wheel. She's the newest, probably, god in the pantheon. And so they entered into kind of a very peaceful time of joy and playing around and discovering what humanity could do once there was no godly war happening in the skies. So they all had a centuries-long party. Everybody's kind of just been coming and going, I guess, from our Mount Olympus of sorts. With festivities everywhere, fire eaters and dancers, and goddesses of the wind are making the tornadoes dance, glitter everywhere, and Bacchus is over there pouring wine, and the Maenads are dancing, and just all kinds of havoc. And then, as they're partying, suddenly a skull comes up, seemingly out of nowhere, and the light of the sun disappears. And darkness, complete, utter darkness, envelops everything. The light of the sun is gone, but the moon and the stars haven't yet received their time to come up. In fact, the sun had just risen. They're not due up for quite a while. And there's nothing. And you, Metzli, Strix, and Nunca, are all there at this party, sitting at the same table as this darkness envelops your party. Does anybody have any thoughts on that?
Under my breath, I say, as everything just kind of becomes overcast and darkness starts enveloping the area, finally he shuts up. Wait. And I look up into the sky and see nothing. Was this either of you?
Not me this time. Where did your brother go?
We're not due for an eclipse for a bit. Strix?
Please tell me nothing happened. I just fixed this. Ugh. Dang it. Okay. You know what? Just give me a moment, okay? I'll be right back. And I'm just gonna go look, see if I can find him.
To see if you can find the sun?
Yeah, to see, just like look up to see if I can see him in the sky.
Okay,
Anywhere.
alright. Roll those fate dice for me. And add your clever.
It is. Ooh, that's true. 3.
Alright, You kind of just hit it. So you're looking through the sky, and it's kind of absurd because there's absolutely no light. Usually, when it's dark, there's at least the stars. Those motherfuckers never shut up. Like, sometimes they be out during the day because they like to be seen. But there are none. And you distinctly saw the shape of a skull made out of earth come up from the northwest, and chomp it, and then suck back down.
Okay. Okay. I'm just go back to the party. Okay. That just happened. Excuse me for a moment. I'm gonna go scream into a pillow and put back song. I'm just gonna go hog top and just scream into it.
That's fair. Roll for screaming.
It's a free action, always.
Screaming is a free action. It's true, you don't even have to spend a fate point for it.
Is that plus bold?
Yes.
Right.
Plus mighty. You're trying to scream people over.
Nice.
Okay. So, did you explain kind of what happened to the rest of the group, Alexi, or?
After I screamed, I would have just walked back and just kind of like rubbed my face. Okay. Balance, balance, balance is me. Balance is me. What's not me right now? That's great. So, you see, I just saw that, right? And I'm this close to beating some butt. So, yeah. Again, please tell me you know exactly what's going on. Please.
I got nothing.
Oh,
This is his time. Like,
yeah, it is this time. Why? Oh,
I've been here. I've been with you. I didn't do it.
we're good. Great. Perfect.
Like, this is kind of akin to, like, he's touching me! I'm not touching you!
Basically.
Yep. Any thoughts from the void?
Just wondering if they've had a fight. I don't think the sun talks to them much. So not sure what happened. Just trying to think back if in their last conversation there was anything.
Roll, you can roll for clever or for wise on that one.
I will do wise. Oops. Sorry, that was
Those two.
my bad. That's
No.
-3.
Three.
That's -1.
Ooh. 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 What are your ooh. What are your aspects again?
Subtle, mighty, and wise.
Yeah, you've got the beginning and the end. Space between stars, the primordial dark, and the all-encompassing shadow. Oh, I love it. It's so angsty.
Thank you.
I will say if you want to spend one of your fate points, you could 100% use one of your aspects to like maybe the beginning and the ending, because you were there for some of the fighting. Like you know that they never got along. You know how all of this is panned out. You also know that the cult that follows Strix is a cult to you too. So you could totally use a fate point to at least get it +2 and
Okay.
then have a positive number.
Okay. I will do that. How many do we start with? 3?
You start with how many stunts do you have?
How many what?
Stunts.
Did you have 4 or 3? I can't remember.
3.
3? Okay. Then yeah, you start out with 3 fate points. The way this game works, you get 3 fate points that refresh kind of at the beginning of every session, and then they can use them as they see fit. There's other ways to get fate points, but this kind of lets you start out with some, so that then you can generate some more.
Okay.
So that would be a 1 now, right?
Yes.
Okay. At least positive numbers.
Yeah. Starting out so strong.
Super strong. Yeah, I mean, they've always kind of bickered, but also he hasn't left your side. The sun was here earlier, Zarivya, the sun, and kind of left off in a little bit of a huff to head home to the rugged peaks. But I mean, you didn't see anything go down. Of course, there were like little slanting gazes, like whenever he was dancing, and all of the love goddesses and the maenads were dancing with him, just being like, "Oh, you're so cool." Obviously, you saw Mesli like giving him like kind of like the kind of look.
What a fool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But aside from that, like there hasn't been anything recently.
You sure you didn't have a fight?
I'm positive. Oh my goodness. He's the one that always starts them, so I just end them sometimes.
He's a hothead. Well, he could have gone home, but he really should have waited.
I mean, maybe Bacchus, like, just got him too engorged.
Perhaps.
I actually have a thought, though. The mortals are probably freaking out.
That's a good thought.
They don't have any light at all.
Crap.
Can we check on them? Is that a thing that we can do?
Yeah, I mean, you can walk among the mortals all you want. That means you have to leave the party, but yeah.
Well, if anything happens, I'll just deal with it.
I mean, should I at least fix the light problem?
I mean, if you want to, I mean, that'll be great because it's dark as hell. Get it?
Hell's not dark.
Oh.
Probably, if you could.
Well, I will invoke one of my aspects. I'm the moon.
Okay. What would you like to do with it?
I would literally like to drag the moon back into the sky, even though it just set on the other side.
Your poor little celestial orb in the sky.
Yeah.
Woof! Time for me to take a nap. What the? Sure, yeah, for sure. This also kind of insert something into the narrative, which is something that you can definitely also use fate points for. But
Yep.
in this game, you can kind of like use your fate points to invoke aspects that help you get through the world because you're a god. So sometimes you just can do stuff. So, Mesley, what does it look like as you just forcibly drag the moon full, bright and shining, back up into the sky?
I think the way it looks is I just kind of like gesture towards like the moon set, like where it would have been, and I just kind of like beckon it like back towards me so that it unsets from where it was and just kind of like peeks over the mountains again, and you see like little like moon dust falling as it's being dragged forcibly back.
Oh! So, this moon that just set, it was a beautiful little moon set that happened too. Just glowing on the horizon suddenly, very bright in the absolute darkness. Stars haven't come out yet. They're not entirely sure if they can or if like they'll get smacked or something. Also, most of their gods are completely wasted because they were not expecting to have to be bright and shiny right now. But the moon does shine, a glowing orb in the sky with a little just tufts of kind of like a glowy halo, kind of a reddish glowy halo come off of it, as it takes a little longer than it kind of normally should for it to gradually encroach back up backwards.
Yes.
The moon is rising backwards. I'm gonna write that down somewhere.
If that's not important, I don't know what is.
I don't know, but that sounds like some doomsday shit. Mortal, yeah, exactly. Yeah, so guys, yeah, you see the things that happen. Mhm.
At least they can see now.
They can definitely see a lot better than they could a minute ago.
Yep, that feels weird on my part. And also I could just feel like the chaos rising over there. So I'm gonna go that way, you guys go first. Because right now there's a whole bunch of shit that's going on. And it's close to just yeah, okay. I'm gonna just go towards the humans.
Anybody else?
I'm just
follow.
gonna sigh and look at my one Southly and put it down, and then follow.
Oh. Okay, so are we off in the direction that like the skull came from? Or are we off in the direction of the sun? And like, cause he left in a huff earlier to dig too.
Well, I know that I'm not really allowed over there. So I think I'm gonna head like ocean bound, where the sun should have been.
That's fair. That's fair. All right. So,
The void. Yunka is going to go check on her son.
okay. All right. Dope. Okay. So, you guys are walking out of kind of like a temple area. There's some big stone pillars surrounding a giant cathedral sort of setting. Like, it's amazing. It's just a palace. And it's kind of like sitting on the clouds above the first city. which we know is just a huge population of humans all in one spot. It's the first kind of real civilization that's built up thus far, and it's looking a little crazy because they're like advancing in technology and like they're making connections. All of the gods are like equally proud and a little terrified because who knows what could happen, because all mortals spawned from chaos who had a very dual nature. So you step out onto the kind of balcony area, and the goddess of the hearth, Hera, and it's incorrect in mythology, but that's how it is here, kind of strides up. She's got a beautiful red mane of hair that's all pinned up in curls on top of her head. There's like a golden kind of like fire circlet around her head. She's got some vibrant like golden eyes and this beautiful draping like cream gown. And she goes, "Where are you guys going?"
I don't know if you noticed, but the sun is gone. We need to check on the mortals.
That is fair. The moon is up, so I mean, hopefully they'll be fine. Darling, I always liked you
That's my
better.
thought. Thank you.
Do any of you know? She kind of like slants a look over at Mesli. Where the sun went? I tried to find him when it all kind of set, but he's not here anymore.
I believe he rushed home, but, you know.
That seems a little weird that it happened kind of one after the other. Do you think something might have happened to him?
Hopefully not. Hopefully he's in one of his moods.
I hope so. I'd hate to have the balance be disturbed by not having a son anymore. Sorry.
It's okay.
I'll see. Here. She hands you pretty like swiftly, almost like she's sweating because she's a little scared. Because she's a young goddess too. Like she didn't come up until after like the mortals came up and like started building homes for themselves. That's where she came from. She's very kind and kind of a little fidgety, but she opens up her palm and kind of like slides into yours, Luca. A little fossilized tree kind of heart with a little kind of like an emerald in the middle. It's glowing a little bit. This comes from the forest. If you get lost or lose your way, it draws on the strength of the ancient forest to help. Here. She skitters back.
I'll take it. Thank you very much. I very much appreciate that.
Let me know if you need anything else. We're all here for you. Where's the wine? Gods will be gods, man.
Gods be gods.
All right.
Gods be doing goddins.
Did anybody else have any thoughts on that interaction? Just, I don't want to like bowl anybody over.
Oh no. Interesting goddess.
Nuka's just kind of like just finds it kind of amusing how afraid everybody is of her.
I don't know why. I didn't really do anything.
I don't know.
It's, I think it's just because you're the first one, you know? I mean, I'm pretty chill with you, but
I suppose.
I mean, if anything, everyone should be afraid of her. Pointing at Strix.
I mean, duh. I can easily take all of you out with one just, flick.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, Nuka's not impressed.
yeah.
A little bit of competition, I see.
It's
Nuka's
like-
like, it's not a competition.
Like,
But
cool,
believe
I
what
get
you
it.
want, I suppose.
I mean,
Alright.
I am practically, great, great, great granddaughter, right?
Mm,
Ugh.
yes. Yes.
It's
Kind of.
something like that.
You know, when it comes to gods and monsters, you're all just pure energy, like you're just like somebody willed something into existence and therefore you were born to control it. So I mean it's arguable. In
Yeah.
a way. Yeah. So directions. Ruben, you said you were heading off towards the sea?
Yeah, we're basically back towards the first city, like the heart-ish of it, to essentially try and inquire like why the sun, like the celestial object, not the person, like disappeared.
Yeah.
Um, and maybe try and like figure out what's going on that way.
Okay. And then Alexi, you had said Strix was going to head towards where the sun disappeared,
Mm-hmm.
correct? Okay. And then Nunca, you're going to head towards Zarivya's citadel.
Hmm.
Okay. Noted. As we kind of do a little shift here, if you would like a chance to win a $25 gift card, please go ahead and type into the chat aspect, ASPECT, exclamation point, the symbol, not the word, and then aspect. I'll give you some time to do it. And I'll even type it into chat for you. Out the space.
There we go.
There we go. And we will move on. Okay, so you, sir, the moon. It's kind of the trip from the kind of Mount Olympus situation here is very interesting because it kind of just depends on where you're going. There's a little bit of a rainbow bridge corner kind of thing. There's also some Pegasus things that you can take. There's also just a beam of light that will take you almost directly down into a temple because it's like a gate. I'm going to say that you kind of take the little elevator. You head down. It's easy enough to find your way kind of more towards your temple. And then are you doing what I think you're doing?
What am I doing?
Are you using your scent
Um,
from the first city?
I believe I am.
Ooh,
Actually.
fancy. So, because Metzli is the god of the merchant class in the first city, and has a temple there, there's a regional stunt that he gets access to. And he can kind of just, through a series of coincidences, get whatever it is that he's wanting from the city, because the city is just so big and full of information and people. So you are looking for why the sun disappeared, or what?
Mhm.
Why? Okay. I'll say you're walking. Um, kind of just meandering through, looking at the people. Are you wanting to be recognized now, or are you kind of like a little more
It's
settled about it?
it's technically supposed to be daytime, so I don't want to be recognized.
Okay. So you're just kind of like rolling through. You've kind of like pulled some of your robes a little closer to the outer world. I'll say you can look kind of more just like a humanish version of yourself. Um, because as a god, like they're a god. Like gods appeared to mortals as all kinds of things. Um, and you just kind of catch whispers from everywhere. And there's a couple of things that are going around. There's, oh, well, you know, he stood up, got that ass, and left her down there. Like, that thing definitely came from, like, I mean, it looked kind of like underworldly, didn't it? Yeah, no, it really kind of did. Like, do you think she'd do that though? Like, straight up, like, pull the sun from the sky? Um, and then also, at the same time, I mean, you know Gloria, and you know how Zarivya is, and Gloria and Zarivya have been on and off for quite a while, and you know that Gloria would do some shit to try and get his power. Like, it seems like something she would do.
Crazy.
So this is what you get as you walk through the city.
Okay. I'm gonna just kind of meander through, make sure the oracles are doing their oracle thing, and then just kind of like exit the city and wait for Strix to catch up.
Okay. Alright. Um, you easily make your way out of the city. Strix, I'll say, because you are more, you're kind of half mortal. You kind of like it's familiar. It's weird being amongst the gods sometimes, because everything they do is just such bullshit. Like everything, they're everything has so much fanfare. It's so showy. They're loud. They're obnoxious, and sometimes it's kind of nice to just walk amongst the mortals where everybody's doing their own stuff and keeping their nose in their own business. And just like so you take the elevator down as well, and you're walking kind of through the first city, kind of looking at all of the cool things that humanity does, because it does. There's beautiful like murals on the walls that kind of depict you casting the moon to one side and the sun to the other. And there's like an interesting depiction of Nunca, like dark, but also somehow not the bad guy in this mural. Um, yeah, and you kind of like take a minute to like collect yourself and remind yourself that it's okay to be frustrated. It's okay to be human. And then you walk out the gate, and you see Metzley.
Oh, okay. I'm just going to like roll my neck a little bit, just relieve the tension, and just okay. Well, at least I still have my duty balance. Yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna walk over eventually. Find anything?
Um, relationships are hard. Apparently. That's word around town at least. That Zarivya has decided to do some stuff. Some two-timing.
The underworld.
Yeah, and Gloria, and I think he, according to them, maybe rejected Gotharul, and starting something with Gloria, but maybe not, because I mean he wasn't with her during the party.
Mm. Okay. So let me get this straight. My balance that I have done for the entire world has been split apart because somebody got jealous.
Nothing's more terrifying than Mother Earth scorned.
Okay. Okay. So, do we need to go down the world? Can I just easily do that?
Mm. I mean, I could just take over.
First off, I'm gonna go get food because I miss human food. Then we'll go because I'm frustrated and I want ice cream.
That's fair.
Well, I do know a very good merchant for it, so
Also true.
let's go.
I'm gonna go
Okay.
get ice
All right. So
cream.
Strix and Metzley have exited the city just to wheel around and go back into the city to go to the food square and get some food. Okay. You know where the Golden Citadel is. You know he's probably there by now. So it would be pretty easy for you to just kind of like rainbow bridge over to the Golden Citadel.
Okay.
Kind of you arrive just outside the gates, and it is swelteringly hot. It is like you feel like you could melt into a puddle of darkness just standing there, even though like the sun isn't even out, and you're up at like the peak of one of these mountains. It's just so hot. And somebody kind of looks down from a parapet. Who goes there?
The void. You better open up.
Can you just like just real quick, like I just can you just like roll bold for me, just real quick?
Sure.
I just want to see if that like makes him shit break out.
Let's make sure that's a 4 this time. Hey, 2. That's a 2.
2. You're pretty sure, even though he's wearing very minimal clothing, they all wear very minimal clothing up here. It's just too hot. So he's got some like sand silk draperies, and then like a little spear and like a little shield. He looks down. He's like, you can hear the shield like kind of clatter against the wall a little bit. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So your voidliness. Open the gate. And the gate
That never
slowly.
gets old.
The gate chains roll and like, slowly lower. You are able to enter the city. And that is where we're gonna kind of cut for the evening. It was kind of short, but we will pick up next week to see what the fuck is up with Zarivya, and I guess maybe where this skull came from that ate the sun, and whether the gossipers of the city, like which one of their theories is correct. Do remember, go ahead and plug in that exclamation point aspect so you can get that extra chance to win next week. And then make sure you come back because we'll give it out next week and it'll be dope.
Yeah.
And you could be the proud owner of a bunch of cool stuff from Evil Hat, like me. I'm a nerd. I'll give you guys a couple minutes if you have been kind of busy to enter that in. And we'll be right back. If you have not entered the word, enter it now, because we are about to go offline and you will lose your chance to get that extra little edge and win the thing. Bye, guys. We love you, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.